And hello Scriptcase fans, welcome back to another macro day here on Scriptcase by Jamie. And today we are exploring the send SMS macro. Now this is a powerful tool for sending SMS messages directly from your Scriptcase applications. And this macro supports various SMS gateways that are already built into Scriptcase using the tools/API features. And those gateways would be well-known companies such as Clickatel, Plivo, and Twilio, enabling, of course, real-time communication with your users via your platform, which is a pretty awesome feature that you can build into any project that you develop within Scriptcase with quite a lot of ease. So let's dive into how to set this up and use this functionality within your own projects. Okay, so before we start off, well, the purpose of send SMS, as you see it here within the blank application, is of course to send SMS messages via a configured gateway that you have set up within Scriptcase. And you can do that here by accessing tools within the menu and then API. And then we can click here, add new, choose here the gateway, and there we have for SMS Twilio, Plivo, and Clickatel. And you can select either of those. You add your authentication token, select how you want to store this API, if it is available for public users within your Scriptcase development environment, or for project developers, or just for yourself maybe. And you can then also provide it a name. Now, once you have done that, you can then use here the send SMS macro. Now, this is a perfect little macro that you can use to send alerts, confirmations, maybe even promotional messages directly to a user's mobile phone. Of course, providing you with some more than immediate notifications maybe. So there are some pre-requirements, and that is of course the API setup. It needs to be added. You need to have then the API tokens for the supported provider. Now I've only just received a Clickatel account this morning, so I haven't actually gone through that yet. As some of you may know, there has been an issue with registrations on their website. And well, I have that now, so it won't be long until I actually create a video on adding some SMS notifications to your project. So maybe you will want to check that out in the future. Okay, so as I was saying, the syntax is quite simple. We have here the macro already, send _SMS, and we can add an array in here of settings, or we can call this variable whatever we like. So we can call this array settings, or really array settings instead of r_settings. And you can call it Tom, Dick, and Harry, or just Harry, however you please. Now, with this variable, we then apply our array. And we then need to first of all create our array. So if I copy here my array settings, I can then go equals array. And within that, then we can define here our settings for our macro sending. And it's pretty straightforward. So we define here, first of all, our message, and that would then equal our to, as well as the message itself. So we need to include that in here. And we do that here with some hard brackets here. And then within that, we can then add our to message, and that will then equal our telephone number, and then we add in here, say a plus, say 351, and that is Portugal, of course, and then whatever the number is, and then we just add that in there, and then we comma that, and then we can continue with the next line. And then from here we can include our message, and that will then equal, say, well, whatever we want to say, hello user, or hello let's just do that. Hello user. This is a notification regarding whatever you want it to be. Now after the message, we still need to define our settings. So here then I will include here a settings section here, and that will then equal here our gateway settings. And in this here, we then need to include our gateway that we have then either defined or that we want to use, because we can actually set this macro up to use, well, pretty much any of these available APIs at any point in time, and we can customize that even further. So if I just finish this off, and I say in this case, say if I want to use Clickatel, I will use then Clickatel, and then, okay, we need to close that off and comma, and then we also then need to provide in here our auth token. Okay, so it is always important for any API that you then include within Scriptcase that you always check the documentation, because if there are options in there for that, then you will also be able to provide those here within your array settings. So for instance, if you have a to and a BC and so forth, like you have with email, then those would also be applicable here. And then you just really need to check that within the Clickatel, in this case, documentation. Okay, so that would then be our Clickatel SMS, and that would then send an SMS message to this phone number saying, hello user, via the Clickatel gateway using the following authentication token, which of course I still need to finish off because that would have gave us an error message. Now, there are a few other ways that you could do this, and you could say, for instance, if an order has been confirmed, then we are going to send an SMS message, and then we can customize the message as well as the details according to that specific purpose, maybe. Because maybe we can use Clickatel for one set of notifications, and maybe Twilio for another. Maybe you just want to use up those free sessions that you are provided, or those cheaper sessions, or vice versa. Okay, so that is of course a ton of practical use for this macro, and it is super valuable within your applications, especially if you have some frequent interaction there and you would maybe like to know what's happening on your mobile device. Then this will provide you that functionality. And it's also, of course, very functional for marketing messages. So maybe give that a go. So this macro does ensure that your application can use these SMS macros within Scriptcase with some super ease. And before I finish up there and provide you with some kind of conclusion, maybe I should also remind you that you can integrate any type of API within Scriptcase. So just because we have here our pre-configured APIs within the Scriptcase environment for email, SMS, payments, storage, authentication, and even Google Sheets and reports, which you don't see at the bottom there, but those are all available. You can integrate just about any API within Scriptcase. I say just about because that really depends on the documentation that is available and if it works in the first place, right? Because if there's no documentation, then it's going to be very hard to integrate in the majority of cases. Either way, it should be cake. So that is how you can integrate SMS capabilities into your own Scriptcase applications using the SC-Send SMS macro. It is, of course, a very effective way to enhance your user interaction, as well as providing you with immediate communication solutions within your own Scriptcase applications. Okay, so if you found this tutorial helpful in any shape or form, please do like, subscribe, follow along, watch next week's macro video, and of course last week's macro video. Or of course leave me a comment and let me know how you have used this macro yourself within your own projects, and maybe share some ideas for other viewers. And as always, stay tuned for more Scriptcase tips and tricks. And thanks for watching, and until the next video.